What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on in NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, y'all, tonight's topic. Listen, we're going to talk about day 2 of joint practice with the Eagles and the Patriots, and more particular, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown. I'm going to call it an all-22. It's not an all-22 angle, guys. Don't confuse that. This is a fairly decent angle from someone, you know, who got access to something, guys. But it's not an all-22 angle. It's not perfect. But I'm going to break down that Jalen Reagor one-handed touchdown catch because, man, it was another one of these situations where you get a heck of a play out of a player again, guys. To begin with, I want to start off by talking about the player that the play occurred on, which is Michael Jackson Sr. You guys may remember him from yesterday's the whole thing I did for you guys, because Michael Jackson Sr. got beat by Reagor, I think. I believe he got beat by Pat, and I believe he got beat by Quez. Well, I mean, he got taken for quite a few touchdowns yesterday, guys, so just keep that in mind with him. Obviously he's struggling in this camp, and he got a highlight reel put up on him from Jalen Reagor. So to start with, guys, anytime I talk about releases, I'll give you some guys that I think these guys are not necessarily the best receivers in the league. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that these guys are what I would call the upper tier of guys who know how to release off the line of scrimmage. They're the best at doing it, okay? These are people I love to go watch their film to see how they're releasing. All right, number 1 is Davante Adams, guys. Davante Adams is great at this. Number 2 would be like Michael Thomas, and they're not in order, guys. I'm just saying their names. Michael Thomas, right? Keenan Allen, Greensboro guy, right? Played up here in like Northern Guilford or Northwest Guilford, one of those two schools. His brother was a quarterback down by UNCG, one of the high schools down there. So, I mean, like, all three of those guys are really, really great at releasing off the line of scrimmage. But I'm going to tell you right now, the king of the release, the best player in the NFL currently at releasing, it's Doug Baldwin. Go talk to any player, and they're going to tell you about Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin is...
The skip that you're talking about, yeah. All I'm doing is just gathering information. I know why he's playing me inside. It's because he's on an island. He's by himself. So he wants to use the sideline to himself.
He's ridiculous, guys. Doug Baldwin's he's incredible coming off, creating that separation off the initial release. And I'll give you one more player since I gave you 4. I'll give you one more guy that he's only a second-year player, but I knew this about him coming out of college. I made 2 videos about this young man, last year during the draft, prior to the draft, I should say, and he proved that he's one of the best route runners in the league last year by catching over 100 passes. Justin Jefferson's in the company of these names, guys, of really good, receivers who can release off the line of scrimmage. Everything we're going to talk about today, guys, is with the expectation of there being a man press coverage situation. Preferably, the expectation is you're probably going to get a jam. So we're really talking about the techniques that we'd see here that would come with jam. Now, the first step I want to tell you is this, guys. This is not a jam off the line of scrimmage, guys. This is a catch technique. But I can tell from what I see from the release from Jalen Reagor, he was clearly expecting a jam from Michael Jackson Sr., and he didn't get the jam. The kid kind of falls back into a catch technique, all right? I say this because you can see there's this awkwardness. For a split second, it looks like backyard football, right? Like almost like they're playing chess, or they're sizing each other up to try to get that wiggle to get the free release. The technical term, I think, for what this release is, from what I can see from this angle, and guys, I would love to see the feet more to be 100% with this, but from what I can tell, what at least looks like here, guys, this looks like what we would basically call a double move. This is a double move release, all right? Looks like to me as if he's going inside-outside release. But obviously he's expecting a jam. The jam doesn't come, so he's just kind of sitting there for a second. Reagor is sizing him up, and then he releases. The reason that happens when someone's playing catch on you is you're expecting the hands to be out, because what you're expecting, the normal way you would beat this is 2 ways. One way is it's a simple slap on the wrist, slap on the back shoulder, and then a rip through the player. Or the other way is when you fake with your shoulders in. Once you get ready to cut, come off that heel of your foot, then you're going to dip the back shoulder down, guys, and duck through, all right? It looks like to me as if Reagor's at that point of where, like, okay, I either need to slap and cut or dip and go, but I got a catch technique. That's what it looks like to me. All right. Past that point, guys, this is what I see. It's just an individual play here, guys. This isn't a player going up, making a play on the football. It's an excellent play by Jalen Reagor. There's just no other way of saying it, guys, other than to say that, like, they're, all dudes can make one-handed catches, but it's the frequency at which Rager's been doing this in camp this year that, it's kind of like, okay, like, I think this kid, I think he's starting to click, man. We won't know until week 1, guys, and he's on the field and we see him play, right? I mean, like I said, it's easy to release in trainings and in joint practices and in preseason games when there's no scheme involved, right? When there's not film on you to see what your habits are. It's a little easier to release, right? But I can see the beginnings here. And I even see it on Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins is getting pretty good at the release too. And, the Eagles are investing quite a bit in the wide receiver core to coach these guys up. Not only draft picks. Rager being a first-round pick, Devontae Smith being a first-round pick. I know we don't like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside right now, but he was a second-round pick. I mean, least thing, then you look at Quez being a sixth-round pick, Hightower being a fifth-round pick. These are all within the last couple of years, guys, and it's a ton of draft capital spent on one position, but it goes past that, guys. I mean, look, you got Patullo, who used to coach wide receivers. Sirianni used to coach wide receivers, right? We have Aaron Moorehead, our wide receiver coach, in here. And we just brought in a camp guy to basically like an intern to coach. So, I mean, right away we can see how much investment is going into the position, right? And I think we're starting to see a little bit of dividends. I just, look, I will caution, don't overhype it, guys. But at the same time, like, you'd rather see them making these reps and making these wins than it not happening. We're getting what we're asking for, right? We're getting to see the receivers actually win. Now, let's just hope it translates comes week 1. They start winning in the games too. When there's scheme involved, when guys start to roll back your actual film, you got actual NFL level talent right in front of you, then we'll see where they play it, guys. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section, guys. I think Rager's put together 3 or 4 really good practices at this point, guys. I'm feeling really good about, Fulgham actually got a little play. I've heard a little bit about Fulgham recently. I haven't seen a whole lot of video footage, guys, but I am hearing that he has been making plays in camp, guys. So, I mean, I know a few of y'all asked me that, so I went through to just kind of to talk about it. And I think it was Dave Singaro and Rube were talking about he actually has stood out the last few days. Fulgham has. Rager's clearly coming around. We just talked about Reagor. Devontae Smith is back in pads again practicing. Good sign. Then you got Quez. Quez is having one heck of a camp, guys. I mean, when I really look at the 4 deep issue here, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of us, is it going to be Greg Ward Jr. as the 5th, and then we carry a 6th receiver? We only carry 5 receivers. Who knows, guys? I can't tell you I know specifically or for certain, but it is what it is, guys. What can you say, y'all? All right, I appreciate y'all's time and attention, and I'll see you guys on the next video.